actual draft comes around, huh?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Are you? Does that go to your head at all? Thinking everybody's saying you're going to be the #1 overall pick.
I mean, it's definitely something that's in the back of my head because I'm working towards being #1 pick. But if it doesn't work out that way, I'm not gonna be mad or something. So I'm just gonna continue to get better every day in the gym.
What's it like walking around with all the attention, now and over the last year? Just everybody saying, "Hey, Kyrie, Kyrie." What's that like?
It's been kind of the same like it was at Duke. So it's not anything I'm not used to. So it's a great experience to be out here with all these great players. But to get all the attention is not something I'm not used to. So.
I mean, do you enjoy that though?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I try to give as much attention to them as they give to me. So that's what I try to do.
Can you do anything between now and the draft to change your stock? You think teams basically kind of know what you're all about at this point?
Well, I think I still have a lot to prove when I go to private workouts whenever I do schedule them. So, from this point until I work out, I still have a lot to do in the gym until I can be fully prepared for the workouts.
Do you know why was your decision to not do the athletic testing at the combine?
Well, that was a tough decision on my end, just based on how competitive I am, and I really wanted to be out there with the rest of the guys. But me and my agent discussed it, and we felt it wasn't best for me to be out there doing the athletic stuff. I was still working out down here at a private location, so I was still getting my work in, and I'm just going to continue to get better in the gym and preparing for the private workouts, whatever team decides to reach out to my agent and bring me in. So that's what I'm preparing for.
I mean, like the testing, like the vertical and all that stuff. Like, is there a negative to doing that if you do it?
I mean, there wasn't a negative for me. Like I said, it was just something that me and my agent discussed, and he felt it wasn't best for me to do anything here.
Okay.
How much are you looking forward to testing yourself against the top point guards in the league, with there being so many talented ones right now?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's something I think about every single day, every time I step into the gym. I imagine all the great point guards I'm going to be playing against, and that's something I prepare for every single day. So I'm really looking forward to it.
There's pretty much a general consensus right now that you're the top overall pick. Are you surprised based on how much time you missed?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm a little surprised just based on, I was unsure of my draft stock probably around December when I got hurt. So, knowing that people believe in my abilities for about 5 months is, it's an honor. And I'm just continuing to uphold that #1 prospect position. So that's something I work towards every single day.
Who are you working out with here?
I'm working out with Robin Powell. That's my strength and conditioning coach.
Kyrie, Derek made the pitch. He should be the #1 overall pick too. How do you feel about that?
Well, I never made the pitch. I should be the #1 overall pick. I think my game will speak for itself, and when I go to the private workouts, that's what I'm basing my opinion off of. It's just my game. I'm not going to do all the speaking. That's not really my personality. So, when we do come in the private workouts, it depends on who they like. It's all up to the team. It's not up to me. I can't say I'm going to be the #1 pick when I have no idea if I'm going to. So.
What did you gain from the NCAA tournament? I know you said yesterday that at least helps you make your decision a little bit.
Can you repeat that?
The NCAA tournament, you said that coming back to that helped you.
Yeah.
What did you gain from those 3 games?
I think I definitely gained confidence in my toe and confidence in my body itself. Being away from the game that long and just coming back, so I felt like I came back quicker than I was supposed to, just based on the work I was putting in on my side time, and just preparing to get my body right. And then once I happened to play an NCAA tournament, it just gave me a lot more confidence going into making my decisions for the NBA draft.
Talk about the thought process of not working out and waiting and not doing much at this combine.
I'm a really competitive person. I really wanted to be out there today. It really hurt not being out there, just based on I just wanted to go out there and show everybody that I can compete with the best. And it's always a fun time to compete against all your guys in your class. So that's something I was looking forward to. But me and my agent discussed it, and he felt it wasn't best for me to do anything at the combine and just save myself for the private workouts that I have coming up.
Can you talk about the body weight thing? It said that you had a 10% body fat.
Oh, yeah.
Does that bother you?
Oh, no, it doesn't bother me. It just shows the amount of work that I still have to put in to get my body right to where it was. So, that's just something I'm going to continue to work towards every single day. And, I'm aware that it's at a point where it's at a percentage where I don't want it to be, but I can't do anything about it. Being away from the game for that long, it was bound to happen anyway. So it still shows you the body work I still have to get better at.
I don't know where you're putting it.
Oh yeah, you can't see it, but it's there.
How important is it for you to be #1 overall?
It's not really. It's important to me, but it's not something that I'm just focused on completely. I mean, I'm just focused on getting better every single day in the gym and just preparing for these private workouts. Like I said, that's my main focus. And when I go into the private workouts, I want to be fully prepared where it's just a clear consensus, whatever team picks me.
What's new for you about this experience where you have to make sort of business decisions and consult with your agent on whether to do some things?
The new aspect is that I can't do what I used to do as a so-called normal kid. I sometimes forget that I'm only 19 years old just based on the amount of business decisions I have to make on a day-to-day basis. That's something that just surprised me, just how it turned from just pleasure, basically, just going out there and just getting some buckets up to going out to the gym and I want to make money doing this. So it's a transition, but I'm just taking it on every single day.
How tough is it to keep your circle tight, and are there a lot of people trying to cling on to you right now?
There's always going to be a lot of people trying to cling on to me because they want to join the so-called journey that I'm on. So, I definitely have kept my circle tight even before all this. So, most of my friends don't even play basketball. So, my circle has been tight ever since I was younger, and it's not going to change now that I'm going to the NBA.
When did this business aspect of it really start for you? Has it just been over the last month or so?
No, it started right when I decided on my agent. Once I shook his hand and signed the papers, and that's when the business really began. That's when I started training, and that's when the business aspect really started to, weigh on me. So.
Coach K give you any advice throughout this process on how to handle it, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. He just said maintain my personality, just to be myself, and never let anyone that's coming on this journey right now. He just told me about different people that are going to try to cling on, and just to enjoy this process. You only get drafted once, and try to experience as many things as you can.
What's your understanding of what happens in these workouts? Do you work up by yourself? Do you work up with other rookie prospects? What happens at the workouts?
Well, I know that me personally, I'm not going to be working out with anybody else. I'm going to be in for a private workout. I know that they do a couple of drills, and they want to probably most likely do the testing that they did here at the private workouts, which I'm fully aware of and I'm fully prepared for. So, that's something that I'm aware of and I've heard about. I watched the John Wall workout when he went out for the Wizards, and he didn't do too much, but it was enough for them to draft him #1.
In the private workout, are you okay going up against somebody else, or do you want to be out there by yourself?
I'm okay going against anybody. As long as they challenge me and I get better, I'm okay with it. But I guess for my safety and my draft status, it's kind of crazy thinking about my draft status, but there's something that my agent didn't want to happen. So when I go to these private workouts, I don't think it's safe for me to work out against anybody else.
So it'll be just you?
Most likely, yes, sir.
What impression did you leave with of the Gilbert family after the draft lottery?
What impression did I leave?
Yeah.
Nick's a great kid. He's really humorous. Just I would have been so nervous being out there representing the Cleveland organization if I was in his position. But he did a great job, and Gilbert family, it's a great family.
Does it intrigue you at all about the potential of being the #1 pick there, with them also having the 4th overall pick, that you could go in there and kind of turn things around for a franchise that just had a real down year?
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Particularly the Cleveland organization. They had a disappointing year for their organization, just based on going from 61-21 to 19-63. So, if they do pick me, they're going to get a special player, and I'm just looking to contribute as much as I can in the organization.
Kyrie, what do you do outside of basketball?
I read and I sing. I do a couple things. I'm a normal kid outside of this.
You sing? What kind of music do you sing?
I sing all types of music. Yeah.
You like John Legend?
Yeah, I love John Legend.
In what kind of format? I mean, paint a picture for us as far as you singing. It sounds like a little more than in the shower.
Well, you'll see on NBA TV. I did a little singing segment, so just look out for that.
Okay.
But I played an instrument for 8 years, so I've always been around music ever since I was younger. I took an interest in it.
What'd you play?
I played the baritone.
Is that something you do on the side maybe during your NBA career?
Most likely. I talked to my agent about it, and he said, buy me a baritone, which I'll most likely have to pay him back for. But that's something that I'll look to do on my side time.
How far back does your relationship with LeBron go?
It goes back about 2 years.
Describe that for me, a little bit of how you guys keep in touch and what you.
He just offers me advice, when I need it. That's basically about it. Just fulfilling a big brother role. That's all he does for me, and just, like I said, give me advice.
Kyrie, how do you think Nolan will make out in all this?
Excuse me?
How do you think Nolan will make out in all this?
That's one of my best friends right there, and I think he's going to be a great player in the NBA. whatever team he goes to, just based on the versatility that he has. And you know, he showed it this year definitely when I got hurt, that he could play the 1 and the 2 and lead a team. So I think his versatility is what separates him from other guards in this class.
You talked yesterday about developing the switch that you could flip from a friendly guy, as you know him as, to sort of that hard-edge competitor. Can you talk about those two different Nolan Smiths that you see?
Yeah, he's a very personal guy. You know, his personality is really strong, and you know, he's also humorous. But when he steps on the court, you can just see in his eyes that competitive edge that you need to be successful in the NBA, you know, or any level that you play at is something that he has already, and it's something that he's going to continue to develop as he continues his journey to the NBA.
Kyrie, do you know what your vertical leap was today?
I think it was a 0.
I like that. Oh,
yeah.
You didn't even do those, huh?
Oh, no, I didn't do anything.
None?
No.
Well, what is it off that? Have you?
I have no idea.
No idea?
No
You've
idea.
never had it tested at all?
No, sir.
Okay. The other thing, if any other teams interviewed you at all besides Cleveland? Have you,
No, sir, I haven't even done an interview with Cleveland. I haven't done an interview with any teams. I'm probably not going to do any interviews here until a team calls up my agent and wants me to come in for a private workout. So.
Are you going to go to more than one workouts? I mean, going beyond Cleveland?
Right now, I'm not sure. There's something that I'm planning out right now, and you know, it's probably going to be scheduled in the next week or so. So that's something I'm just preparing for every day in the gym, because I never know when I'm going to have to work out.
Why not work out here?
Huh?
Why not participate in the workouts?
It was something me and my agent discussed. You know, we just didn't feel it was best for me to do any of the combine drills. I wanted to do all of them, but you know, I talked to my agent. He felt it was best I didn't do it.
The league puts out all the measurements, obviously, and you know, it kind of jumped out a little bit. That, and it sounds like a funny thing to ask you, but on the body fat, had you like 10%. I wondered how much of that, you know, the toe injury sitting out for a long time. Are you still getting your body back?
Oh yeah, you know, I'm still a work in progress, and you know, it's kind of embarrassing that it's at 10%, but it's something that you know, my father has told me that I can't really worry about, just based on, you know, the body of work that you know, I had to maintain when I was out for 3 months. And then when I'm coming back, you know, I was around like 193 or something like that. And that was something that I was really nervous about, just based on I never gained that so much weight. Just, you know, eating and then not working out, it was something I wasn't used to. So, you know, my body fat being 10% is something that, you know, it's something I'm worried about, but it's something I'm working towards getting better every single day.
What's your fighting weight? I mean, where do you want to be?
Huh?
What's your best weight? Your fighting weight? Where do you want to be?
Well, in the NBA, I want to be 190 where I am right now.
You're there,
just based on just continuing to put muscle on, not gaining any more fat. So.
Okay.
So, Kyrie, you didn't do any interviews at all?
No, sir.
What prompted that? Because I can understand the physical parts of it, but why not the actual interviews?
Honestly, I left all that to my agent. You know, he felt it was best I didn't do any interviews here. That's about it.
Okay.
Been antsy? It doesn't seem like you've had much to do on this trip.
Oh, yeah.
Were you required to show up here?
Huh?
Does the NBA require you to come here?
No, it's not a required camp. I wanted to be up here just based on to meet everybody and introduce myself to a lot more NBA GMs and personnel. And I've been working out on my own, so you know, not going to the gym hurts, but I'm also getting my work in, so that's all that matters to me.
Hey, Kyrie, is there an element of gamesmanship where they're going to come to these interviews where you got guys all talking about how they should be, how good they are, or whatever, and Derek's saying he should be number one? He said he would expect you would say the same thing too. But, you know, the way it's kind of.
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say I should be the number one pick, because it's not the attitude I have. I think, you know, I'm gonna let my game speak for itself, and I'm gonna show my potential, where, you know, how ready I am for the NBA and my private workouts. That's all I'm preparing for. I'm not, you know, worried about, you know, saying if I should be the number one pick. That's not my attitude at all.
Yeah, what other guys say too, any of that bounce off you at all? Or?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.